everyone, this is Robyn. Welcome to mypinkstamper.com. I have a super adorable project for you today. I'm going to be using the new Christmas Scottie stamp set with the coordinating punch. And I'm going to show you a fun technique that maybe you have or haven't tried yet, but it's a super fun technique using one of the background images from the stamp set. There's going to be a little bit of heat embossing, no die cut work this time. So if you have this stamp set and punch, make this card along with me. If not, use what's in your craft room and create. Or if you'd like to purchase any of the items you see in today's video, they can be found directly on my shopping page, shop.mypinkstamper.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. This is such a beautiful, well, I mean, it's beautiful, but it's super adorable. It's super cute. We're going to be using this Scottie here because it coordinates with the punch. And then we're using this bow right here. We're also using this fun buffalo plaid. I believe that's what that is. It's plaid background. And then we're also using You Are So Loved. Okay, so we're using all of those. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do our stamping. So I'm using this piece of basic white cardstock. And I'm also, since the stamps are they're photopolymer, so there's no cushion on the back, so you can see through them. You wouldn't be able to see if there's a cushion there for these ones. So I like to use a foam pad. This is Stampin' Up's just a foam pad. It fits with our Stamparatus, but I like to just use it for my stamping. And then I'm going to be using the basic gray ink pad. I'll go ahead and just ink this up. It's cute little Scottie. Oops. And then I'm going to, and I just refreshed it with a re-inker. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that right here, like that. It's cute little Scottie. And that's all we need this ink for. Now we're going to be using Blushing Bride. And we're going to be using two stamps with the Blushing Bride. We're using this background, like I said, and then we're also using the bow. So we're going to do something fun with this one. And I need a background paper too because I want to stamp it off so it's not so bright. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to ink up this background. So we have all of the ink on this stamp, and I'll leave this upside down like that. And now I'm going to take the bow and I'm going to actually stamp directly on this background because it picked up the ink, and then I'm going to stamp it off so it's not so bright. And then I'm going to stamp it right here, and then I'll show it to you. So we have just the plaid that's just a little bit bright, softer and muted. Okay, now I can put these away for just a second. I think that's all I need to do there. And now we'll go ahead and I'll take the coordinating punch and just open it by pushing that little lever forward. And I'm going to punch out the Scottie. Then I'm going to save the little bow that it punches out, and I can use it for my scrapbooking or other cards. And then I'm going to go ahead and just punch this one out right here. Just easier for me to do it that way. Okay, punch it out. And now it is time to do a little bit of heat embossing. But before we do that, we're going to use some of our designer series paper. This is from Gingham Cottage. It's a 12 by 12 pack. It has a ton of just gorgeous gingham papers. And this is cut at 2 inches by 5 1/4. I'll just grab my Stampin' seal. I think I might at the end. Okay, here we go. And I will add this. I'm adding this first just in case. Sometimes I might have cut it a little bit longer. And if it's a little bit longer, I'll usually just trim it off at the end. Okay, now I'll take my Versamark pad and I'm going to get my white embossing powder. The white is from our Basics embossing powder collection. It comes with clear, white, and black, which is nice. Those are the three that I use the most out of all of our embossing powders. And I'm going to ink up You Are So Loved with the Versamark. And I'll just stamp it right here, the bottom right. Okay, and then now I'm going to take this powder. And I'll just, since it's just a small spot, I can just do it right on here. Just give it a good tap. And then I usually flick it off. I give it a good flick too. Okay, set that aside. And now I'm going to use our heat tool. And you can heat it from the top, or you can heat it from the bottom. I'll show you the bottom on this one, so it's not so blurry. You just kind of watch until it changes consistency. You see it changing the color. That means it's melting it. It's getting nice and hot. I'll just finish it on this side. Okay, you are so loved. I made a bunch of these, and I'll show you at the very end of the video. I like to mass produce cards, so I usually don't just make one. I'll make like 4 or 8 or 12, and I think I made 20 of this one. I'm in a swap with my team of pink stampers. We do card swaps a lot, so we get different ideas from other team members. And this was one of my swaps. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece of basic white thick cardstock, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. And I'll just fold this in half like that. Now I can go ahead and add this piece onto this white right here. Okay, and now I have a piece of our vellum cardstock, and this is cut at 2.5 by 2.5. And I like using vellum a lot because look at this, it's see-through, but it kind of just gives it a kind of a glow effect. I guess that's probably not the right word. Okay, I'm going to take this bow, turn it upside down. I'm going to grab our baby dimensionals. They're called mini dimensionals because I want my bow lifted up. Is that what I'm doing first? Let me see here. Actually, no. I'm going to start by, it's hard to put adhesive on something that you already have a dimensional on, so you want this to lay flat to make it easier. I'm going to lay this flat on here. And now I'm going to take the baby dimensional, the mini, I should say the correct name. And then I'm going to add this right here on my cute little Scottie. It's so adorable. I'll flip this over. I will add 1, 2, 3 dimensionals. And then I will add that directly onto my card front, my layer. And I'll have it down just a little bit. And there is our quick, it's actually a super quick card to make, and it's just so adorable. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love to hear from you, and I read every single one of them. If you want to see more of my projects, my weekly giveaways, and more videos, you can find me directly on my blog at mypinkstamper.com. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.